Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today I want to talk about an Arceus Giratina deck. If you saw an earlier video talking about the Limitless website and how I use that to help find a deck, I talked about this Arceus deck a little bit, Arceus Giratina, and today I'll talk about the list and show the deck in action. So you're probably familiar with Arceus Vstar. It gives a lot of flexibility. It's obviously an evolution as a V-Star. It's 280 HP. Obviously it gives up 2 prizes, as do all the V-Stars. And it's got the Trinity Nova attack, which is quite useful. Does 200 damage for 3 energy. Often you're using 1 DTE in paying the cost plus 1 additional energy, so then it reduces the damage to 180. That's kind of what it attack does most of the time. But then it's got this second part of the attack that's really terrific. Search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon V in any way you would like, then shuffle your deck. So it powers up other Vs, basic Vs, VMAXs, V-Stars, so Arceus can be paired with many options. Obviously we lost the D block for those Vs and VMAXs, but there's still a lot of V partners in format to choose from, and this is utilizing Giratina VSTAR, which I'll get to in a moment. The other really great part about Arceus VSTAR is its Starbirth ability. It's its VSTAR power, so you can use this once per game. And it says during your turn you may search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them into your hand. Then you shuffle your deck afterwards. So the ability to once in the game search your deck for 2 cards. Wow, what a way to set up. It really helps the deck operate, especially early on. To just get any 2 cards you want means the deck will function. So it really helps decks perform. I've enjoyed Arceus back in the day with the Intellion Engine, and enjoying it now. Even without the Intellion Engine, it still works very well. So the partner here is Giratina VSTAR. It's a Dragon type V-Star, 280 HP, and it's got the Lost Impact attack. It does 280 damage, which is a very nice number, right? It knocks out Giratina V-Star. It knocks out Arceus V-Star. Most V-Stars will be knocked out by this, and of course any V will be one shot, and the majority of the EX Pokemon will as well, although some won't, but such as Gardevoir EX, but the majority will. Now when you use this attack, you put 2 energies attached to your Pokemon in the lost zone. It could be from any Pokemon. It doesn't have to be from Giratina VSTAR, although it can be. And if you discard a double turbo energy, that 1 card counts as 2 energies, and that pays the cost there. It also has Star Requiem attack. It's V-Star power. You don't utilize in this game twofold. First, you're using the Arceus's V-Star power almost basically every game. And then secondly, to use this V-Star power attack, you have to have 10 or more cards in the Lost Zone. Yes, you're putting some energy in the Lost Zone from a Giratina V-Star, but you're not going to get to 10. And it doesn't play the Lost Zone engine, so no comfies. It doesn't even play Coloristic Experiment. You could put Coloristic Experiment in to try and use Star Requiem, but you really want Arceus's V-Star power. So that's not really a factor and not a problem there. And as a Dragon Pokemon, it has no weakness, so therefore it helps out. There's no single threat. It's not as easily countered being a Dragon type. So it uses the Bibarel engine. The Giratina V, let me just talk about that for a moment. Abyssal Seeking, you look at the top 4 cards in your hand, put 2 of them in, the top 4 cards of your deck, put 2 into your hand, put the other 2 in the Lost Zone, so a way to help draw, help set up early on if you have nothing better to do. You generally don't want to do that. You like to be doing something more meaningful. And the Shred attack does 160 for 3 energy, and it's not affected by effects on your opponent's active Pokemon, so it can hit through effects, which can be useful also. And of course, you're not discarding energy like with the V-Star, so if 160 is enough damage for you, you might want to attack with the V. Arceus's V also is useful. I should have talked about that also, particularly the Trinity Charge attack. If you go second, and you can get this set up, you get 1 double turbo on Arceus V, and then you Trinity Charge, and then you search your deck for 3 basic energy and attach them to your V Pokemon any way you like, then shuffle your deck. So the same as the effect of the attack that does 200 damage on the V-Star. Doesn't do any damage, but helps you get set up. So if you're, especially if you're going second, turn 1, very nice way to set up your deck. And then it plays the Bibarel engine, which you can draw till you have 5 cards in hand, and it's paired with Skwovet, really a combo that I'm finding to be very nice. With Skwovet, has Nest Dash ability. Once during your turn, you may shuffle your hand and put it on the bottom of your deck. If you put any cards on the bottom of your deck this way, draw a card. So you play the cards in hand that you want. Use Skwovet's ability to basically get rid of your hand, replace it with 1 card, then Bibarel, draw to 5, which adds 4 more cards. So a nice way to see a lot of cards on your turn. In terms of the energies for the deck, 4 Grass and 4 Psychic. Those are the basic energies you need for Gardevoir, and you can accelerate the basic energies with Arceus's attack, as you know, 4 DTE to help get going. You need that DTE early on, and then 1 V-Guard energy just to make the Gardevoir or the Arceus a little more tanky, survive another turn is useful. Plays a number of supporters, going through 4 Trekking Shoes to help draw, see some more cards. 1 Raihan, accelerating energy, obviously after your Pokemon's knocked out. You should be familiar with this. If not, get to know it. It's a terrific card. You accelerate energy for the discard to any of your Pokemon if you were knocked out by opponent's attack last turn, and then you search your deck for any 1 card you want. So another chance to search your deck for any card. Very nice. 2 Boss, as you know, 1 Escape Rope, 1 Energy Recycler. I like that in the deck. As you're setting up the deck, you get some energies in the discard if you have to research them away, and you need those basic energies to keep attacking with Gardevoir. If you run out of those, you can't attack with Gardevoir. So I like the ability to be aggressive, dig through the deck, but knowing I can recover some energies later on. Serena, a nice card. You can switch your opponent's benched V with their active. That obviously doesn't impact such cards like the EXs, but a nice gust opportunity ability. But you have the choice. Instead, you can discard up to 3 cards from hand and draw until you have 5 cards in hand. So a useful setup card also. 3 Research, obviously a very good card to get set up. 3 Judge, draw some more cards, see some fresh cards for yourself, and disrupt your opponent. 1 Pal Pad to put 2 supporters from the discard into your deck. 4 Nest Balls to get your Pokemon on your bench. 3 Path to the Peak. You don't want to get this in play until you've used Arceus's V-Star power, otherwise you can't use it. There is no stadium bump within the deck. Perhaps that's something the deck would like. 1 Choice Belt to get more damage against obviously your opponent's the Pokemon. Cheren's Care to get 1 colorless Pokemon that has damage counters on it into your hand with all cards attached. So you have an Arceus with some damage on it. You can get out of play with Cheren's Care, scoop up net for that damaged colorless Pokemon in essence. Although the energies go in hand too, which is nice. 4 Ultra Ball to help search for your evolution Pokemon or thin out your hand before Bibarel, and 1 Switch. So a fairly straightforward deck. So we'll jump in and see the deck in action. Arceus is just a terrific card in of itself, and Giratina is also very good. So you're pairing two very strong cards together. With Arceus's ability to accelerate energy, it's a very good way to set up Giratina. Obviously, the other way, you can play it with Lost Zone. That's a very common way also, but I think Arceus is nice. It's simple, right? It doesn't have the Lost Zone deck has a lot of pieces to it, which can be nice, but that means more ways the deck things can go wrong, either through bad choices or just not getting the pieces in play you need. The Lost Zone does have, you can start the game early with hitting with Cramorants, which can be useful. All right, I don't know if I'm going first or not. I missed that. All right, I'm going to put Giratina in the active because if I get energy, I might use its first attack. All right, so up against a Gardevoir deck. We'll see what happens. So Gardevoir EX, I cannot one-shot with Giratina. So done. You don't at this point in the game, you do not need to bench additional Pokemon. There's no, even going second, my opponent, there's no item card that disrupts my hand, right? Judge obviously disrupts my hand, but it's a supporter. They can't play at turn 1. So they got Battle VIP Pass, which they wanted, so helping them set up. So they had to start Radiant Greninja. That's obviously not preferred. They'd much rather have the Mew in the active, but not what's happened. If they'll switch into the Mew if they can. Probably get another Ralt into play. Now the downside to that is I would hope for their sake that they have access to Kirlia. So I might actually want to research this turn. Let's see what I hit here. I don't want a path in play. Let's see what I get. Okay, I was a bit concerned about that. I lose a V-Star, but I have 2 more, so that's okay. Right, losing one of those is all right. I don't want to judge. They only have 2 cards in hand. Don't give them more options. Toss down Arceus. All right, and the path will be very useful once I've used Arceus's V-Star power, though. So what do I want? I don't want to have access. I want access to the V-Star. That's what I want. So an energy, because I like energy. And yeah, that's good. So I have access to Arceus V-Star next turn. After that, so I play, I believe, 3 Paths to the Peak. I've discarded 1. All right, they had a research, so that was a good hand for them to end their first turn where they filled their bench and had a research. So they need to get at least a Kirlia or 2 into play, or Rare Candy to evolve. So thumbs down. Now I don't know the gestures. I don't know, what are they, emotes? I don't really know. So. So wow, they missed. So bad start for them, right? So I want probably I think I want to attack with. So I want to attack with Arceus. No, I can't do that though, can I? So. All right, let me do this. What am I going to do here? Am I going to research here? I guess I'm going to research. I don't love this, though, at all. No, the game's getting glitchy there, right? I should have... Boss, you're supposed to go in the discard pile. Did it disconnect? Okay. We finished that there. I could try. Let me look at this. Let's see. I would actually like to get an Arceus into the active, right? And utilize him. So I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to be very greedy here. Assume I can get an Arceus into the active with double turbo. So he goes on the bench. I'm going to rope him into the active, the one I just played down, because I want to have the option to evolving my other Arceus. So that's decent. So, okay. Oh, that's right. I can't do that. So I can't path now at all this game. That's unfortunate. But, yeah, I'm going super aggressive here, I would say, or at least moderately aggressive. So that's very solid. All right, so I want to get... what I want double turbo. And let me grab... stop that. And let me get a Bibarel. I can chuck down a Skwovet with my Nest Ball. So it's not a bad start. Maybe I should have thinned more. Actually, what I can do now, I could Skwovet and do that, but I don't think I want to do that. I think So I Trinity Charge, which isn't a bad play here. What do I have for energy? One of each, right? All right, I will put all of these. Let's see. Energy. Energy. They might knock out my one V, right? I'll make that play. I have a V star now. I was hesitant what to do with the energies. Let's see. I just have the one DTE in play. One discarded energy. I still have my energy recycler. So okay. So Penny. So they utilized Penny, which may be meaning they're using towards list. Yeah, okay, and they already use Pal Pad. They probably don't play more than one Pal Pad. Don't know for certain. Wow. So they are doing very badly here, is all I can say. Right, so I assume that means they have no Curlias. That's rough for them, for sure. All right, so they finally get a Curlia, right? As you can see, I've dug through the deck pretty well, down 16 cards in deck after just a couple turns, 17 in the discard. That's nice. They've almost discarded as many as myself, but they haven't played so many, right? Because they haven't gotten the cards they want to play. Finally got a Curlia. I guess, well, that's not terrible. I mean, Ultra Ball will get them. I mean, they probably want rare candy at this point, but you know, when you're relying on drawing into rare candies, that's certainly not reliable, right? The fact that they didn't get any Curlias into play the turn before this, that was a bit of bad luck. If they're missing out on their rare candies, though, rare candies are, you know, you're hoping, right? When you don't have a card to search for them, obviously the deck could play Arven. So getting rid of Zacian, I like that, because Zacian has the power to do big damage, to wipe me out in one turn, even the V-Star. It needs a lot of energy, though, for sure. I do like getting the Arceus evolved. It makes the Zacian that much more difficult. The other thing is if they get a Zacian powered up to take out, say, even a V, then my Arceus Vstar can finish off that Zacian because it's got a decent amount of damage counters on it to get the energy onto it. So, yep, they don't need rare candy because they have 3 Curlias in play. Are they going to drop down a Zacian? Oh, they're getting an energy. Oh, okay, yeah, I guess they don't have any energy in play. So that's not great. Okay. So, I like getting another Bibarel into hand. I have no problems with that. So I will evolve here. I will attach here, right? And I will, what do I have in here? 1 energy. Sure, I'll Bibarel first. I can Bibarel Skwovet Bibarel. Double turbo. Oh, I kind of like the double turbo because I might want to attach that to the Gardevoir or somebody so I can get rid of that, quite frankly. So let me, I'm going to sit on this. I like having the DTE in hand. So, no energy. Let's see. So this is where the deck doesn't play a ton of basic energies. In a certain sense, I would be more comfortable with the Lost Zone build in that the deck doesn't have as many basic energies as I would like for a card in Giratina that needs energy and is discarding energy. Of course, if my Arceus stays in play and I can keep the DTEs alive, then I can discard a DTE even off of an Arceus, which is a nice option. We'll see what happens. I do play a Cheren's Care that helps get me the Arceus out of play. Penny would get the Arceus. No, Cheren. No. Penny is only for a basic Pokemon, correct? Let me just double check. Yeah, just a basic. Just trying to keep my memory straight here. So Penny's largely for Zacian, but they did use it before. What, for Mew, was it? Or maybe Radiant Greninja? Yeah, Radiant Greninja, I think they started that maybe. I'd try to remember the sequence. So they got another Curlia. We haven't seen a Gardevoir yet, or a Gallade, so have they discarded Gardevoir yet? I think so, right? They've discarded... No, they have not. They've discarded a Zacian. They haven't discarded any Stage 2s. You figure they have to have a Stage 2. They should have right at this point, they have 10 cards in hand, only 8 cards in the deck. So they're really going hard here. They may play Judge, in which case they can recycle. If they don't play Judge, they've got to win fast because they're not going to have a lot of turns left, right? They're down to 6 cards in deck, and obviously they can win in 6 turns. It's certainly all right. So that's the Gardevoir. Sorry, I wasn't the alternate art was one that I'm not as familiar with all the alternate arts, but okay. So Gardevoir, can he knock me out? All right, they're really going aggressive. I gotta assume they have Judge, because at this point, their ability to win fast enough is not overly likely, is what I'll say. All right, what if I play? Because I do want a boss. So I played 2 bosses, so I might want to... Okay, I only play 2, so I might want to Pal Pad back boss this turn, right? They can knock me out with Zacian, so they might do that. Okay, so they can knock me out with Zacian and take 3 prizes, which means they need a V-Star and a single prizer also. Now, they need a Gust to do that, to get the single prizer, because I'm not going to leave a single prizer as a target, especially after they get to an odd number of prizes here. The good news is I can finish off the Zacian easily, right? But all right, they're ahead. They go ahead. They'll be down to 3 prizes remaining. So it's not going to be easy for me, right? And after this, if they don't attack with Zacian, then they're leaving just single prizers. So they're probably in the position of advantage now. Gardevoir is a terrific deck once it sets up. I had to, right, if I'm trying to remember the way this game went, I had to use the Gardevoir V's attack, I think, my first attacking turn, which is okay, helped me set up, so it's good for that regard. Uh-oh. Well, that is bad news for me. This kind of is... I'm in a lot of trouble now. A lot of trouble. Because I can't recover my other... I don't have any Pokemon recovery. This is bad. All right. It is what it is. That's not good either. So I need Raihan. No, actually I can attack with my active, can't I? So I'll probably do that. I'll send up my Arceus with DTE. It just needs colorless energy. So I will attach another DTE. Why not, right? So I do have... I don't know. Do I want to use that Gardevoir? I don't think I do. I don't think I do at all. So at this point, I think I want the bosses back. Raihan could be nice too, but I need to control the game. That's my goal here, right? I don't think I need another basic in play, do I? So I'm just going to fail that. I will Skwovet. I could research. I don't know if I want to do that though. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to Industrious incisors. I would like to get energy back into the deck, which I'm not going to do this successfully this turn. So I just, all right, I'm just going to attack here, take 2 prizes, but I'm, yeah, attached to the benched V-Star. Anyway, they still need at least 2 knockouts, right? They can't use another what's the Sky Seal Stone? Right, it's a V-Star power, so they can't use a second one. So they need 2 more knockouts, but they could win in 2 turns, right? They have 2 cards in deck. Again, they may judge. Cheren's Care is not a bad card either. So I might utilize that. I don't believe they can knock me out this turn. They can if they get another Zacian into play, right? Now, both Zacians, I believe, are in the discard pile. They probably just play the 2, I think. They may be able to recover them, so we will see. They're not doing that this turn. Okay. This is where the Bibarel is really nice, right? It's like, okay, you want to do that to me? You want to get rid of my cards from my hand? I don't care. I can draw a full set of cards with Bibarel, then I can Skwovet, and then I can Bibarel again. So it doesn't matter much to me. He drew into DTE. I like that for sure. I will attach probably to the benched Arceus. I will utilize. I don't believe they're going to knock me out. I don't. Or can they? So this can get. They might be able to knock me out. So 7 if they get what? So 8, 9, 10 times 3. No, they're going to knock me out. So this is unfortunate. So they're going to one-shot me here because it's right. They're going to do 300 damage. So that is unfortunate, which means, well, they can't knock me out next turn, right? But they can gust up any of my benched Pokemon and take game that way. So that is what it is in that regard. They could, with the Jelly card, heal it up so they can get enough energy onto the... Actually, they could one-shot me. They need the Jelly. What, Emergency Jelly, is it? So I am in a lot of trouble here. I've got to knock out the active period, right? I could... So that's not bad. I'm in a lot of trouble, is what I will say. Cheren's Care, I have that too, right? Let me take a look at my deck. Do I have it in deck? I have Cheren's Care, so let me play down the Arceus then, right? He could prove to be useful, is what I'll say. This hand's not bad. All right, I will Bibarel, get a couple more cards, see what I draw into. Boss. I need to knock out the active. Don't have any choice about that at all. Maybe I should have... Maybe I should have Skwovet. Then I could have... I think I should have Skwoveted now that I think about it. Because then yes, I would have lost the cards I had in hand, but I could have attached the energy, accelerated the energy to my Arceus on the bench, which then means I could potentially Cheren's Care if I get it this next turn, evolve the Arceus to the V-Star and attach the DTE. So I should have Skwoveted, not Bibareled after, but Skwoveted, so I could have accelerated that basic energy that I have. I didn't do it because I'm thinking I only have the 1 energy. I really would like to accelerate a bunch, which I probably can't do, but that was a mistake. So they'll do 190 here. We'll see what happens. That was a big mistake. I'm not in a great position anyway, but that was a major mistake on my part, I will say. So we'll see what happens. I mean, obviously, if they knock me out or any Pokemon, it's game over for me. Now, the fact that they're down to one card, I don't know if they don't have Boss, which I don't know if they're going to have access to Boss. Let's see. They have, let's see, just, they should have a Boss, right? I think they play more than one Boss. Let's see. They haven't played a Pal Pad either, and they only played one Boss. All right, so I can retreat to the bench, right? That's an option for sure. Boss. Okay, so that's not terrible. What's their... They have a lot of energies, though, so I probably want to gust up the Gardevoir. I mean, the Radiant Greninja. I might be able to stall them out here, so I will make that play there. I will retreat to the bench. Get rid of the DTE. Oh, I have to get, that's right. They have the Stadium in play, so that's okay. Send him up. Attach there. I cannot accelerate energy. That's okay. I think I will send back. Doesn't really matter. Energies may become useful, right? Having the switch card, not terrible. Let me thin out my deck. All right, Cheren's Care Ball. Okay, so not terrible. If I should have attached that energy, I'd be in a better place here, and I'll just end turn. So if they have Boss, they have Game, or they switch, right? They can... No, I don't think... All right, so they're not going to deck out here. So they need energy, though, or a switch card. I don't know what they have for switch cards left. 8, 9, 10, 11 energies. One prize. Obviously, Miriam does not recover energies. It recovers Pokemon. So we'll see. So they have 2 more cards in deck now. Uh-oh. Are they going to be able to win? So this could be bad. Okay, I'm surprised. They had the Gracilia option, right? Which I guess they still can do enough damage with that. They might not be able to do anything, though, right? That's still a possibility. So I think... So I hit a Boss. I think I want to Cheren's Care here, don't I? Serena, again, don't want to do that. All right, Cheren's Care, that's the card I want. I think I want to get him off the bench, right? So evolve here. I will chuck down him. I think he's fine. And end turn. I don't want to attack. At this point, decking out is probably the win condition for me. We'll see what they can do. They need an energy or a switch card, and they have to, so they don't have it, so it's possible it's in their deck still. Does not seem likely, though. So I will just end turn. So they have to do something this turn, or it's my game, right? I can accelerate energies. The question is, right, that in of itself doesn't get them game, because at this point they also need a boss card, right? They can't one-shot my active. So they can win. No, they can win with Cresselia, right? Cresselia, they can knock out my Skwovet. So they might just be doing things and dragging out the game. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Either way, they are dragging out the game because this is unnecessary. They either have game if they have a switch card, or so they drag things out, which I don't appreciate that. They dragged the game out there. So anyway, with a deck, obviously Arceus Giratina is a attacking deck for sure, but you need to be flexible in your game, right? Then I realized I wasn't going to be able to take the prizes. I didn't set up the way I would have liked. Couldn't take 6 prizes first. So it became a stall situation with my opponent. They were slow to get set up, but so was I. But eventually, once Gardevoir EX sets up, it's a brutal deck. It's a really good deck, right? Once it sets up, it's big trouble. It doesn't, it's a lot of evolution, stage 2s, it's getting set up. Obviously, you run into a little bit of inconsistency. But so they dug through their deck pretty deeply. So I said, hey, you're down to just a few cards. I might be able to deck you out. Excuse me, I had to cough there. So starting Arceus, like that Arceus, have a DTE. That's good. Have Ultra Ball too. So I can get a Giratina onto the bench. A very nice, a good starting hand. Could be better, but it could be a lot worse. I don't remember. Am I going first or second? I think I'm going first. I think I won the coin toss. So my opponent is not starting quickly here, but hopefully they get going. And I don't know what that was. So anyway, I get some more points on the rank ladder, but obviously I didn't actually play. So let's jump in one more game here. Actually, I'm going to call it a day with that game, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. And it's a deck well worth trying. Take care.